Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual class of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher. Children, we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic and because of that we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop learning. So we are going to do many lessons which are very interesting from your textbook through the virtual class here. So let us do a lesson in English today. So our lesson for today, children, is a lesson in standard 4th and subject is English. Now the name of the lesson is lesson number 20, all about glass. Now when we do this lesson, children, when we will start looking at the pictures of the lesson, when I will start telling you about the lesson, you will start wondering whether it is a lesson in English or it is a lesson in science, because there are many points in this lesson which will make you feel like you're learning a lesson in science. So that is the beauty of our textbooks, isn't it? When we are learning English, we learn so many things about science. When we learn science, we learn so many words in English. So here in this lesson, we will be learning a lot of English words which are related to glass. So we will also be learning the story of glass, that is, how is glass made and what are the properties of glass and what are the various colors in which glass can be made, how can you use this glass that we have made, and so on. Alright, now when I say glass, there are many things which come to our mind, isn't it? So let us look at the various things which are made up of glass and we see around our houses. So this is a small round glass dish. We have seen these kind of dishes in our house when your mummy makes a kheer or when your mummy makes some kind of a sweet. She serves it to you in these glass dishes, isn't it? And then we have this, all of us have seen this. This is a container or a jar which is made up of glass. Mummy keeps salt, sugar, tea powder, etc. in these kind of jars. Alright. Now, what is there here? These are all glasses. We must have seen glasses of various shapes and sizes which are made using glass. So when we learn about glass, we are going to talk not only about how glass is made, but we are also going to take a look at the various things which are made up of glass. So come on, let's go to our lesson for today and let us talk about glass. So in the beginning, we are going to see so many things which have been made with glass. So there's here light bulbs. Alright, now recently we had the festival of Christmas in the month of December. Before that we had Diwali. So whenever there are these kind of festivals, you see lots of tiny and big and different shape bulbs lighting up the houses of people. Okay, all these are made up of glass. You have glass bulbs. Sometimes nowadays you get bulbs which are made up of plastic also, but originally we had bulbs which are made up of glass. Okay, and then you must have seen your mummy, your papa, your grandparents wearing spectacles or specs. So most of the time there are glass pieces on these specs. So there is a frame which can be made up of plastic or something else, and you have the glass in it through which people can look. Okay, after that you must have seen window panes which are made up of glass. Why are window panes made up of glass? Because they let light inside your house, isn't it? You have a frame of the window, see, which is made up of wood here, but the panes are made up of glass. And finally, when you go out to play, sometimes you play with these beautiful colorful marbles. All these marbles are also made up of glass. You can see here so many different colorful marbles on the screen for you. So see, we make use of so many things daily and many of these things are made up of glass, isn't it? So this is what we're going to learn about glass today. Now children, let us talk about how glass is made. Okay, now how is glass made? There are certain things which are natural materials. For example, you have wood, you have wool, you have cotton, you have leaves, you have feather, stone, gold, silver. Okay, there are so many things which are natural. Natural means me and you do not make them. They are made by nature, they are made by God. But there are some things which are man-made. For example, look at all these things here. There is a plastic, some kind of cloth which is man-made. Okay, books are man-made. So of all these man-made things, you can see one thing there in the picture in the corner below the pen. So what are those? Those are two glasses. So when you look at man-made things or man-made materials, we can say that glass is also man-made. Okay, so it is not natural. You cannot find glass lying around like you find the leaves or the stones. When you go out and look on the road, you will see stones lying. When you look up, you will see trees with lots of leaves and fruits and wood. But you will not see glass lying around like that. Glass has to be made by us. So glass is a man-made material. So now, how is this glass made, children? See, there are two things in this picture. There is a beach or a seashore on which you can see sand. Okay? When you go to the sea, when you go to the seashore, when you go to play on a beach, there we find this fine particle which is not like mud, which doesn't have the color of mud sometimes, and it is like mud also, and we call it as sand. Alright, and you can also see the glass bottle lying on it. So what is the connection between this sand and this glass bottle? Look at sand, it has got a color. Look at the glass bottle, it is looking so different. But children, glass is made from sand. So it is with this sand that people make glass. So now you can understand that it must not be an easy process and it cannot be made by everyone at home. Then how do you make glass from sand? Let us see now. So glass is made by heating a mixture of sand and chemicals. So you can see sand here, sand which is flowing from the top jar to the jar at the bottom. So this is sand. Sand is free flowing. Okay, you can find sand on the beaches like I told you. So when you go to any beach, just pick up sand in your hand and try to hold it very tight. It will not stay in your hand. It will start slipping away from your hand. So glass is made by heating this sand and various types of chemicals together. So how is it done? Let us see the process in which sand is converted to glass. So you can see how sand looks here and see how glass looks here. Alright, now in the process, sand here is mixed with various chemicals. So see here, chemicals like sodium carbonate, chemicals like calcium carbonate. Now you will learn about all these chemicals when you go to a higher class. So here let us remember that sand is mixed with certain chemicals and then it is heated. After it is mixed with the chemicals, it is heated. How is it heated? It is heated in a big jar, okay, in a very big vessel which is called as a furnace. And after it is heated and heated for a long time, you will see that glass is produced. Alright, so this is the way in which glass is produced from sand. So sand along with other chemicals are heated a lot. It is given a lot of heat. It is made very hot and thus sand turns slowly and slowly and slowly into glass. See, and it starts looking like this. Can you see how the sand becomes after it is mixed with the chemicals? When the sand which you saw on the beach and the sand here, it is so different. isn't it? So it is a reaction or the action of all the chemicals on this sand. And then sand becomes like this, and then what do? They give it various shapes. So see how the sand is becoming a bottle here. Sand has become glass and now it is getting into the shape of a bottle. So this is how sand is changed into glass. Now this is just in short, children. When you learn a lesson in science in the higher classes about sand, about glass, you will learn in detail about the procedure. Okay? See how they are shaping that wet or melted glass into these beautiful shapes. They are poured into molds. You know what are molds? Molds means shapes. You must have seen during Ganpati festival, your mummy makes modak. What does she do? She makes use of a mold, or you call it as a sacha, in order to make the modaks. In the same way, see how they are pouring the hot, molten or melted sand which has become glass now, and then they are making it into various articles. Like you have a beautiful flowers over here. They made it out of sand. Alright? So isn't it interesting, children? So you saw how sand, which is brown in color and which is powdery, okay, how it is converted into beautiful glass. Now children, we make all these things out of glass in the same manner. So sand is first heated and then it is poured, it melts, it is poured into various molds to make all these articles. Okay, so that is how glass is made. Now we make so many different things out of glass. Once glass is made, it is not only made into bottles, it is not only made into jars, but like we discussed, we make bulbs, we make window panes, and you make the front side of your car, you call it the windshield, the glass of your car, right? And then you make it, make use of it in order to make various things in the laboratory. Like for example, we have all those small test tubes, those beakers, okay, the various type of glasses, cubes. So all these things are made out of glass. So once sand is melted and glass is made, then it is shaped and all these things are made. Okay, now let us look at certain properties of glass. Properties means certain qualities of glass. So glass is brittle. Brittle means something which breaks very easily. Alright, so let us see whether glass can break. Yes, glass can break. Alright, see this is a bulb. In case you happen to drop a bulb to the ground, what will happen? The bulb will get smashed up. Alright, and imagine if you hit a glass like this, even that will break. And children, the sound of a breaking glass is also quite interesting. So do you want to listen to the sound of breaking glass? Here it is. Yes, so that was a sound of breaking glass. Now we come to the next property or next quality of glass. Glass is transparent. Transparent means what? See, look, there is a glass over here and there is pieces of lemon in it, and you're using a red color straw and you're stirring the lemon juice. Now I am looking from outside, isn't it? We are all looking from outside the glass. But can you see the pieces of lemon moving around inside the glass? Yes. Can you see the straw moving around inside the glass? Of course we can see it. Why can you see it? Because this particular tumbler or this particular object is made up of glass. Now imagine if it was made up of steel.
Will you be able to see it like this? You will have to look from the top, isn't it? To see that the lemon is moving inside it. If you look at it from the front like we are doing now, you will not be able to see anything which is happening inside the glass. Okay, so glass is transparent. Transparent means it allows light to pass through it, and because light passes through it, we can also see it. Okay, so this is the next property of glass. Glass is transparent. In the previous image, what did we see? We saw that glass was brittle. We also heard the sound of glass breaking, isn't it? Come on, let us look at it once again. There, glass was breaking, isn't it? And glass is transparent. There is one more quality of glass, children. It stores anything very well. That is, you can keep anything inside glass jars or glass bottles. Anything in the sense, look at the first picture. This is a jar of pickles. Now you know pickles have got a strong taste. It has got a strong smell. There are lots of spices in it. There is a lot of oil in it. Now imagine if you keep a pickle in a plastic jar, what will happen to it? The plastic jar sometimes gets a smell, and the pickle also gets the smell of the plastic jar. If you keep it in a steel vessel or in an aluminium vessel, the vessel will get spoiled because of the pickle. But in case of glass, it is not so. You can keep anything, you can store anything inside glass. But of course, you have to be careful. Okay? If you drop a plastic jar of pickle, nothing might happen. But if you drop a glass jar of pickle, the glass jar will break into 1,000 pieces, like we saw, because glass is brittle. So you have to be a little careful when you handle glass. Alright, see, they have stored different kind of dal, they have stored different kind of lentils in glass bottles. You can see also, if it is a steel bottle, you have to open every one of them and check what is there inside. But here, since this is transparent, see, you can see from outside what is there inside the container. Okay, so these are some properties of glass. Can we look at some more things now? See here, there is oil in a glass container, in a glass jug. There is tea in a glass jar. So you can store anything in glass safely without causing any damage either to the glass or to the thing which is stored inside the glass. So you can safely store a number of things in glass. Now children, in the older times, most of the people used to use glass jars, glass vessels for storing. But now in the modern times, we have shifted to plastic. We make use of plastic more than we make use of glass. But as they say, plastic has got a lot of bad effects on our health. Okay, so you should try and use glass as far as possible. Now we say that glass is brittle. That means glass can break easily. But remember children, there are some kind of glass which is very, very strong. Okay, it is very thick and it is very strong. So look here, there are glass sheets. You can see they are so thick that, see, a man is standing on that. Can you see a man standing on top of the glass ceiling? So he is not worried at all that the glass will break, because even though glass is brittle, glass can be quite strong also sometimes. When you make thick glass, then the glass can be very, very strong also. There are some places where people make floors out of glass. Floors means the farshi that we walk upon, that is made up of glass. Alright, so glass can be very, very strong also. So this is also a property of glass. One more property of glass is glass can be cleaned very easily. So see here, she is cleaning the glass so easily and without too many efforts. Is she having to scrub it very hard? No, she is just wiping it. And see how clean the glass has become. So glass is something which cleans also very easily, very quickly, without too many efforts. Okay, so this is one more property of glass. Now there are some kinds of glass which are ordinary glass. See, this is ordinary glass. Does it have any color to it? No, it is transparent and it is ordinary glass. Now we also have colored glass. So have you seen colored glass? You must have seen colored glass in the kaleidoscope that you see. There is a kind of a thing which you can place on your eye, and you keep turning it, you will see the pieces of glasses turning inside the kaleidoscope. Okay, you all must have also seen your mummy, your didi wearing colorful glass bangles. So glass can be of various colors also. See here, so many different kind of glass. Okay, see, this is called as stained glass. This is also very colorful. You must have seen it in places like palaces or churches where different colored glass is used. So when they mix different chemicals to the glass, different colors are formed. Okay, so when the sand is heated, there are certain extra chemicals which are added to it in order to give color to the glass. So this is called as stained glass. Okay, colored glass. See, now there is one very important property of glass, that glass can be recycled. Recycle means it can be used again and again and again. So you have these dabba batli wala people who come outside and they collect all the plastic and the bottles and everything and they take it. Why do they take it? Because it can be recycled. So old glass can be changed to make new glass. So glass can be recycled. It is never wasted. Okay. So how do they recycle glass? See here, at the supermarket you buy a bottle of jam, and after you finish eating the jam, you throw it away, you throw the bottle away, or you put it in your dustbin. From there the truck collects it and it is taken to a place where it is broken into little pieces. These little pieces are heated again, and so it melts. Again it is poured into various molds to make a new jam jar. Okay, so carefully look at the pictures starting from here. See the supermarket where the jam is sold and the jam comes to your hand. You finish eating the jam, you throw it away, it is carried away by the trucks, it is broken into bits and pieces, it is burnt or it is heated again, and the new jar is formed. So this is how glass can be recycled too. So children, didn't we learn a lot of interesting facts about glass today? We learned so many new things about glass today, isn't it? Now we also have some exercises which are there in the textbook. So let us look at them also before we move on to wind up the lesson. So the first exercise from your textbook is, you are supposed to find the following lists from the passage and then you are supposed to copy them. Now when will you be able to find out the list of words? When you read the passage properly. So the first thing I would suggest is, keep your textbook open and read the passage once, twice, thrice till you get to know what is written there. And then come back and try to solve the first question. So in the passage, what are the names of the everyday things which are made up of glass? So now I will not give you all the answers here. I will give you some and leave you to find the others. So let me give you the names of some articles or some things which are made up of glass according to the passage. So we have light bulbs which are made up of glass. Okay, see, have you seen these kind of light bulbs? Nowadays we have LED bulbs also. Then you have bottles which are made up of glass. These are still commonly in use. When you buy jams, when you buy sauces, you have these kind of bottles which are made up of glass. Then you have jars which are made up of glass. When you buy coffee powder, tea powder, You get it in these kind of jars which are made up of glass. Now there are a few more everyday things which are made up of glass, and they are mentioned in the textbook. Like I told you, this is all part of your assignment now. So go back, read the passage and try to find the names of other things which are made up of glass. You can also look at the internet, you can open Google and you can go find out the names of some other unusual things also which are made up of glass. Okay, so this was exercise 1. Let us look at the next part of exercise 1. What can you do with hot liquid glass? So according to the passage, we heat the sand with various kind of chemicals, and then the sand becomes hot and it becomes liquid glass. So what are the different things that you can do with this liquid glass? So what all can we do? We can pour the hot liquid glass into a mold. What is a mold? I already told you. I told you the example of the modak which your mummy makes. Okay, so see, this is a fish shape glass fish which is made up of glass. Alright, so what they must have done, they must have taken the hot glass, liquid glass, and they must have poured it into the mold which is shaped like a fish. So you have a glass fish. Alright, what else can you do with hot liquid glass? We can also roll hot liquid glass into sheets. You have sheets of glass. See, the window pane is made up of a sheet of glass. Alright, so how do you get the sheet of glass? You roll out the hot liquid glass, like your mummy rolls out chapatis. In the same way, you roll out this hot liquid glass and you get sheets of glass. Now there are some more things that you can do with hot liquid glass. So please check and read the passage in the textbook and try to find out what else you can do with hot liquid glass. Let's move on to the next exercise here. So we are supposed to guess the meanings of some words from the passage. There are around 5 or 6 words. So as usual, what I will do is I will give you the answers for a few of them and the others I will leave it to you. So the first one, let's see, molten. Now we have used this word again and again in this passage. Molten, molten we have said. So what is molten, children? Molten means liquefied by heat. So anything which is solid, okay, and when you heat it, it becomes liquid. That liquid thing is called as molten. So anything which is made liquid because of the heat which is given to it is called as molten. Let us look at the next word here. So you have transparent. We already discussed what the meaning of transparent is, but even then let us look at what the meaning of transparent is here. So that which allows light to pass. So any material which allows light to pass through it is called as transparent. So look at this boy there, he's standing with a glass sheet in his hand. Okay, he's trying to cover his face using the glass sheet, but he is unsuccessful. We can still see his face, isn't it? Why can we see it? Because the sheet which is there in his hand is made up of glass, and so we can see through that sheet because glass allows light to pass through it. So just like we saw the glass tumbler in which there was water and there were pieces of lemon and we were stirring it up, we could see the lemon and we could see the straw going round and round inside the glass. Why? Because the container or the tumbler was made up of glass. So these are the meaning of 2 words which I've discussed for you. We have some more words now in this particular exercise. So come on, let's take a look at the other words in this exercise and I will leave it to you to find out the meaning of the other words. So how will you find out the meaning of the other words, children? Very simple. Pick up a dictionary and try to find out the meaning of these words from the dictionary. See, impermeable, impart, recyclable. So let us try to see whether you are able to find out the meaning of these words from the dictionary. Now children, if you want to learn English, the dictionary will be your best friend because it will teach you a lot of words, the meaning of words, how to use the words, and whether the word is a noun, whether the word is a verb, whether it is an adjective. So the dictionary will teach you so many things, how to say the words. So for learning English, who's your best friend? It is the dictionary. Alright? So now we have the word recyclable over here, and we saw that glass can be recycled. That is, once you use glass, you throw it away, again it can be made into some other article. Okay? So there is one more thing which can be recycled. Paper is also recycled. So in your textbook you have the last exercise which asks you to find out how paper is recycled. So I have already shown you how glass is recycled. So you can watch videos about how glass is recycled on the internet, on YouTube. Here, come on, let me quickly discuss with you how paper is recycled. You can also watch videos about how paper is recycled again on the YouTube. So see here, first paper is made. Okay, let us start from here. First paper is made, then it is sold in the market, then it is consumed. Consumed means we do not eat paper, of course, we use it. Alright, so newspapers, every day the newspaper comes to your house, you read the newspaper, and the next day it becomes waste. Okay, so you collect the newspaper and you sell it to the raddiwala. So then you consume it, you use it, so you collect it. I told you, what do you do? Under your table you arrange the newspaper into a neat stack. So you collect the newspaper and then you give it to the raddiwala, and from there what he does, the raddiwala also collects all the newspapers and sells it off for recycling. There it is carried to a big factory or to a big company where it is recycled. Again it is pulped. Pulped means it is mixed with water and it is made into a pulp. It is made into a mixture which is cleaned, which is refined, and again paper is made. So see, we have completed a full circle. We started here, then we went to selling, consuming, collection, transportation, pulping, cleaning, and paper making. So this process can keep on continuing. This is what it is called as recyclable. Okay? So children, now we talked about paper being recycled, and our lesson was all about glass. So we talked about how glass is made, what is the objects which are used for making glass. We saw what kind of different glasses are there for us to use. There is colored glass, and how glass is given various shapes, how it is made into different kind of objects. We also saw the meaning of certain new words, children. So this was lesson number 20 from your textbook, all about glass.
So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions and note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learnt a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.